Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for tonight's coverage of the iRacing Northern Super Series Streeter Concrete Street Stock Series. Tonight, the Street Stocks will be taking on Five Flags Speedway for 85 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight. My name is Atlee Atman-Weiss, and I'm excited to call every second of tonight's white-knuckle short track racing coverage. This is going to be a fun race for sure. Now, last week, we were at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for 50 laps of racing action. We saw 4 cautions, and bringing home the win with his second win of the season, that was Casey Beatty. He led 40 of the 50 laps. Finishing second was Matt Smith. Third was Justin Prescott. Fourth was Stephen Rochefort. And rounding out your top 5, that was Logan Powers. Your other lap leaders included Jake Grout, who finished 19th and led 2 laps. Hayden Fisher finished 21st and led 6 laps. And Mike Young finished 26th and led 1 lap. So, after the events of last week, Casey Beatty is your point standings leader. And it's looking like he currently has around a 34-point lead over second place Logan Powers. Third in the points is Jake Grout. Fourth is Aaron Raymond. And rounding out your top 5 in points, that is Stephen Rochefort. I want to give a big thank you to the series sponsor, Streeter Concrete. They are a concrete company out of Waitsfield, Vermont. If you are interested in them doing some concrete work for you and you live up there in the Waitsfield, Vermont area, dial their phone number, 802-793-6793. That is the phone number again, 802-793-6793. That is how you can get in contact with series sponsor, Streeter Concrete. Right now in practice here at Five Flags, Aaron Raymond on the top of the board with a 17.86. Second is Logan Powers, who ran a very similar lap time game down to the thousandth of a second. Looks like Aaron Raymond was a little bit faster. Stephen Rochefort, third on the board. Fourth is Casey Beatty. And rounding out your top 5, that is Jake Grout. Looks like we're going to have a 24-car field tonight. Question is, will we see a new winner? Jake Grout and Casey Beatty have won 2 apiece. But Logan Powers, Aaron Raymond, Stephen Rochefort, all of them have looked very stout this season and are definitely due for a race win for sure. A few others, Ty Delphia, Caden Fisher, Eric Steele. I think Five Flags is a very competitive track, and I think we could definitely see a new winner tonight for sure. So this is the 5th race of the season. Five Flags, definitely a little bit of a different track compared to New Hampshire. New Hampshire, a very fast 1-mile track. Wow, Five Flags a little bit shorter. And I believe it's around, let's see, Five Flags is about 5/10 of, or so a half-mile track. So a little bit different between those two. So drivers are going to have to adapt and change based on what they did last week, because this is a very different track. All right, qualifying is underway. Drivers will get 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time, and that will determine where they will start in the heat races. We will have 4 heat races tonight. Top 7 will advance from each one, and if it does come to it, we will have a consolation race, and 1 driver will advance from that. So there's Stephen Rochefort heading out onto the track. He's definitely a driver to watch out for to take the win tonight. After 4 races, he has an average finish of 11th. He looked very fast in practice, and he's coming off a top 5 last week at New Hampshire. Shane O'Neill in that 25 Wonderbread car trying to turn down a good lap. Jake Grout to the top of the board with a 17.82. That puts him 200ths ahead over second place. Brian Rogers. Third is Logan Powers. Actually, now third is Eric Steele. Fourth is Logan Powers. And rounding out your top five at the moment, that is Aaron Raymond. We see Matt Smith jumps into the top five with a 17.86. That puts him 300ths off of Jake Grout. Let's see what Scott Rochefort can turn here. 18th on his first lap. Still have Caden Fisher, Jason Pelkey. They both need to qualify. And Caden Fisher is to the top of the board with a 17.81. That puts him less than 100th of a second ahead of Jake Grout. So we will see if anybody can knock him off in that pole position. We still have three more drivers that need to qualify. Jason Pelkey up to that fifth place spot with a 17.85. That puts him 300ths off of Caden Fisher. Peter Fisher looking to turn a lap here. We'll see what time he can turn. Now, this is a very quick track. These drivers hitting top speeds of around 109 miles per hour. So on the straightaways, they are rolling for sure. As we see Peter Fisher is taking it off of turn number 4. He gets to fourth with a 17.84. That puts him 200ths behind Caden Fisher. Look at this. The top 10 is all separated by 500ths of a second. This field is tight. This is going to be a crazy race for sure. And if you look at it, the top 12 is all separated by about a tenth.
One set of tires.
Or no, yeah.
Repairs, so take care of them. We got
so this is
a good amount of cars.
This is going to be a very competitive race for sure. I see a lot of parity in this field based with speed. I always enjoy races here at at Five Flags. This is a very fun track over in Pensacola, Florida.
5 laps. You got the heat races. Everybody
home of the Snowball Derby that was held just recently.
We'll have to check the fuel. Everybody definitely check the fuel because I'm not going to do what I did last time and throw a caution halfway. So it'll be on you.
Thank you for letting me know, Matthew. That's my fault. So we look back here. Looks like everybody who has turned a lap time probably will turn a lap time unless Casey Beatty's still ready to go out. Oh, actually, no. Casey Beatty, he will start from the rear because he was last week's winner. All right, so it is now time for our first heat. So let's see here. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Starting on the pole with a 17.816. That's the 18 of Caden Fisher. Second is Peter Fisher in the 71. Third, that is the 99 of Logan Powers. Fourth is Raymond Motorsports' Aaron Raymond in the 88. And rounding out your top 5, that is the 91 of Mark Baldwin. Sixth is Shane O'Neill in the 25. Seventh is the 8 of Chad White. And rounding out your top 8, that is Scott Rochefort in the 77. The top 7 out of 8 will advance from this heat race, and then whoever finishes 8th will have to try to race in from the consolation race. So these drivers are going to be fighting to not finish last. And then the rest, you want to finish well because it'll determine where you start. Here we go. Pace car is in. Green flag is out. Caden Fisher leads us to the green. We see Logan Powers following behind him in second. He is able to get clear. We are side by side for third. Aaron Raymond with the nose over Peter Fisher as they take it off of turn number 2. We see Peter Fisher into the outside wall, so that will give Raymond sole possession of that third place spot. Now we see Logan Powers looking underneath Caden Fisher as we end to 1 and 2. They are door to door as we head through 1 and 2. Caden Fisher still holding on to it on that outside lane. But as we see, as we take it through 3 and 4, Logan Powers with the nose off of 4. They remain door-to-door heading through 1 and 2. Very tight battle with Aaron Raymond not far behind in third. He ran a 17.84, the fastest lap time of the race thus far. And it looks like Aaron Raymond is going to try to follow behind Logan Powers as they both try to get by Caden Fisher, but he is not budging on that outside lane. 5 laps to go for this battle for the lead to shake out. Currently sitting in that elimination spot is the 25 of Shane O'Neill. Chad White is the last driver into the feature. So we'll see if Shane O'Neill can make up 6/10 in these next 4 laps to try to advance to the feature. He's also hoping maybe something happens up front. It's very dicey for this race lead. We remain side by side between Logan Powers and Caden Fisher. And one unique thing, so iRacing recently updated track changing for oval racing, and they adjusted how you can have more grip on the outside lane and how that outside lane changes. So it's a lot better to run on the outside. You can have a lot more success up there now. And we're really seeing Caden Fisher show that by keeping it right side by side with Logan Powers for this race lead. Here we go. Neither driver giving one another an inch. A little wiggle off of turn number 4 for Logan Powers. That gives Caden Fisher the nose here on this final lap. They remain side by side. This could be a photo finish. Fisher on the outside with the nose. Raymond dives it down into 3 and 4. Trying to get underneath Powers. He gets to his left rear. Powers with the nose off of 4. He will beat Fisher to the line. And we see Shane O'Neill will come across the line in 8th, so he will have to try to race in through the consolation round. All right, so now let's take a look at the starting lineup for this second heat, starting on the pole with a 17.823. That is Jake Grout in the 49. Second is Horse Dog Motorsports, Eric Steele in the 32. Third is the 04 of Matt Smith. Fourth is Ty Delphi in the 13. And rounding out your top 5, that is the 31 of Sean Fleury. Sixth is Kyle Streeter in the 37. Seventh is the 11 of Joshua Baldwin. And rounding out your top 8, that is Casey Beatty in the 45. That was an awesome first heat there, and hopefully the action is very similar in this one. So here we go. Pace car coming in this time by. Again, Jake Grout on the bottom. Eric Steele on the top. Pace car's in. Green flag is in the air. Jake Grout up through the gears, leading the field to the green. He remains door-to-door with Eric Steele heading into 1 and 2. We see Grout with the nose over Steele. He is able to get clear, so the battle is on now for second. Matt Smith underneath that 32 machine. They remain door-to-door, and we see Smith has got the nose over Eric Steele. He clears them off of turn number 4. So Eric Steele now tucks in line in third. Now Matt Smith trying to reel in Jake Grout for this race lead. Last time by, he was about 2/10 slower than Jake Grout, but he was battling with Eric Steele for that second place spot. So we'll see how the lap times change here as they have had a lap to kind of, and look at that, Matt Smith, 17.79 last time by. That is the fastest lap time of the race. He has gotten right up to the back bumper of the 49. He is there filling up Grout's rear view mirror as they take it off of turn number 4. Matt Smith has 5 laps to try to make a move here on Jake Grout. It looks like Sean Fleury currently is out of this race in 8th. Looks like he may have gotten into an incident, and so he will have to try to race his way in through the consolation race after a rough heat race. We continue to watch this battle for the lead. Oh, a little bit loose off of turn number 4 for Matt Smith. That cost him some momentum, but he stays right behind the 49. Eric Steele currently running in that third place spot, very close as well. 3 laps to go. Can Grout continue to hold off this 04? The rest of the field doesn't have to worry about having to race in through the consolation because of Sean Fleury's early race exit. We see Matt Smith looking low. He is looking for this race lead, but continuing to be patient. We may see him break out that chrome horn for this race lead. And Eric Steele right there as well, trying to make some kind of move to kind of help his starting position for this race. Final lap. Can Jake Grout hang on to it? Matt Smith looking high, looking low, trying to see where he can get underneath that 49. He sends it into 3 and 4. I don't think it's going to be enough. Jake Grout takes it off of turn number 40, wins your heat race. We have Matt Smith finishing second, Eric Steele in third, and we see Casey Beatty takes fourth. All right, now it's time for your third heat. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. Starting on the pole with a 17.836. That is the 12 of Brian Rogers Jr. Second is Jason Pelkey in the 64. Third is Justin Prescott in the 44. In fourth, that is Stephen Rochefort in the 66, and rounding at your top 5, that is the 36 of Joel Hodgson. Sixth is Kelly Miller in the 16. Seventh is the 67 of Mike Young. And rounding out your top 8, that is Nicholas Mumley in the 01. All right, so far, 2 very closely contested heat races. Let's see if this third is the same way. Again, we have Brian Rogers, Jason Pelkey making up your front row. It looks like Nicholas Mumley missed the grid, which means he will finish in that 8th place spot, and he will have to try to race his way in through the consolation. So none of these drivers in this heat race that are on track right now, none of them will have to worry about making the feature and having to go through the consolation. So this will just be some good practice in a racing setting for the feature event. And also a great opportunity if you're in the back to maybe advance your starting position a little bit. So pace car going to be coming in this time by. There we go. Pace car is in. Green flag is out. And the field taking their way to the start-finish line. We see Pelkey, Rogers side by side in the 1 and 2. We see Rogers with the nose on the bottom. He's got a nice run taking it off of turn number 2. We're now side by side for second as Rogers gets clear. Stephen Rochefort underneath that 64 machine. They're door-to-door off of turn number 2. They're pretty much equal. Pelkey maybe with a little bit of a nose on that outside lane right now. We've really seen drivers really be able to make it work up there. And we see Pelkey trying to do the same by having that nose over Stephen Rochefort. We see Justin Prescott. He is right there as well. And Pelkey, he is able to get clear over Stephen Rochefort and slides into second. Brian Rogers with the fastest lap time of the race with a 17.92. So the battle is on now for second as Stephen Rochefort looks to see what Jason Pelkey is doing, where he's braking, where he's lifting, where he's maybe giving up that bottom, and where Rochefort can kind of slide underneath him and vie for that second place spot. Again, as I say that, Pelkey closing in on Brian Rogers for this race lead. Last time by, Pelkey was he ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 17.84. That street stock really coming in here, and he is closing in on that back bumper. But Stephen Rochefort right there as well. You could throw a blanket over your top four pretty much, because Justin Prescott, he is there as well. 3 laps to go to see how the top 4 will shake out. Joe Hodgson not far behind in 5th. 2 laps to go. Jason Pelkey trying to find any sort of way to figure out where Brian Rogers is making a mistake to give him that lead to start 3rd in this race. Here we are coming off of turn number 4. Final lap, Rochefort dives down underneath Pelkey as we head through 1 and 2. We got him on entry. They remain door-to-door on the backstretch. This is going to be a photo finish. Pelkey with the nose on the outside. Rochefort is to his door. He gets loose, pushes way up the track, and Jason Pelkey will finish 2nd. We see Justin Prescott able to get underneath Rochefort to take 3rd, and we see Rochefort ends up finishing in 4th with Hodgson in 5th. And it looks like we only had 3 heat races, and every single driver actually made the race, but the starting lineups were determined by the heat race results. So, starting on the pole is your Heat 1 winner, Logan Powers in the 99. Starting 2nd is Jake Grout in the 49. 3rd is the 12 of Brian Rogers Jr. 4th, got Caden Fisher in the 18, and rounding out your top 5, that is the 04 of Matt Smith. 6th is Jason Pelkey in the 64. 7th is Raymond Motorsports' Aaron Raymond in the 88. 8th is the 32 Horse Dog Motorsports driver of Eric Steele. 9th is the 44 of Justin Prescott, and rounding out your top 10, that is Peter Fisher in the 71. 11th is the 45 of Casey Beatty. 12th is Stephen Rochefort in the 66. 13th is Mark Baldwin in the 91. 14th is the 37 of Kyle Streeter. 15th is Joel Hodgson in the 36th. Then in 16th, it's the 77 of Scott Rochefort. 17th is Ty Delphi in the 13. 18th, that is the 16 of Kelly Miller. 19th is Chad White in the 8. And rounding at your top 20, that is the 11 of Joshua Baldwin. 21st is Mike Young in the 67. 22nd is the 25 of Shane O'Neill. 23rd is Shane Fleury in the 31. And rounding out your top 24, last but not least, that is the 01 of Nicholas Mumley. Looks like Mumley did not grid, so we will have 23 stout street stocks in this race. Only one can win. Will we have a repeat winner if Casey Beatty or Jake Grout gets the win? Will we maybe have a first-time winner like Logan Powers or Brian Rogers? Time will tell here in this 85-lap feature event. Drivers will get 1 set of tires to use if they so choose to do so. So we'll see different strategies with that. Some will take right sides, some will take left sides. Some might not take any at all. And so that pace car is in green, flag is out, and your Five Flags feature is underway with Logan Powers leading the field in the green, but a great start on the outside for Jake Grout. He is able to clear Logan Powers heading into turns 1 and 2. So now the battle is on for second. Here comes Caden Fisher on the outside. Him and Logan Powers are door to door as we head off of turn number 2, almost making contact. We see Fisher with a little bit of a nose as we head through 1 and 2 there. Logan Powers trying to fight back on that inside lane, but the outside looking very stout. We see a little bit loose on entry there for Logan Powers. These tires take a little bit to come in here. And we see Caden Fisher able to clear Logan Powers from the outside. Jake Grout, your race leader, ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 17.73. Caden Fisher trying to reel him in for this race lead. He is closing in on him fast. That gap very quickly decreasing. Last time by, Fisher was about a tenth faster than Jake Grout. And so right now, he is looking to see what that 49 is doing, where he's maybe making a big mistake that's giving up some time and that's exposing that bottom. Last time by, Fisher ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 17.74. He looks low underneath the 49, but he stays behind him for the time being. And Logan Powers is right there as well in third place. You could throw a blanket over your top three right now. All of them so close together. This is the short track racing that you love to see. And Fisher giving Grout a little bit of a bumper off of turn number 2. And he exposes the bottom. Logan Powers looking underneath Fisher as he pushed up a little bit there. And now Powers to his left rear as we head through 1 and 2. Fisher remaining that nose on the outside lane. But now Logan Powers has him up there. He can't get down. A little bit loose there off of 4 for Caden Fisher, trying to keep it off the wall. The momentum is now on the bottom for Logan Powers. He's using that preferred groove to his advantage right now. But, I mean, they're practically equal heading through turns 3 and 4 right now. And able to clear him off of turn number 4. Logan Powers is up to the second place spot right now. Jake Grout loving to see this because this allows him to extend his lead over the rest of the field. The battle continues to be on for this second place spot. Logan Powers, Caden Fisher keeping it close to one another. Powers trying to extend that gap. Looks like he is able to do so a little bit, but Fisher not letting him get too far away. Now, this is still early on in this race. You don't want to burn up your tires or, risk getting involved in an incident. You want to save your street stock so that it's the best that it can be for, those last 25 laps or so. But we see Fisher able to get to the back bumper of the 99 once again. He closed on him quick there on that last lap. And so now, we see gives him the bumper a little bit through 1 and 2. That actually hurt Fisher more than it hurt Powers, and he checks up a little bit and loses some ground. Now Matt Smith starting to close in on Fisher for this third place position. Let's see what Smith can do. Looks like Fisher getting a little bit loose on exit. We can kind of see him fighting the car a little bit. So that's maybe where Smith is going to want to try to get underneath him, where he's exposing that bottom a little bit on exit. Matt Smith able to get right there through 3 and 4. Watch out for this 04. He's looking like he's ready to make a move here for this third place spot. Get almost down on the apron there. Caden Fisher, we see, he's got those left side tires very close to the bottom. But still not able to make the pass quite yet, being very patient. And it's still early on in this race. You want to be a little bit patient. You don't want to push the issue early on, so you don't risk anything, whether it be, like I said earlier, burning up the tires or getting involved in an incident. So we'll see right now. Matt Smith continuing to be patient. Looks like right now, we got a car slow on the bottom. Lap traffic becoming a little bit of a factor. Looks like he gets down on the apron, so that won't really change much. Logan Powers starting to close in on Jake Grout a little bit for this race lead. They ran similar lap times last time by. He closes in on him quickly off of turn number 4. We could have a battle for the lead beginning to brew here. And as I say that, we have a yellow flag out. First caution of the race. We had been fairly clean there for this first portion of the race. So we're watching last week's winner, Casey Beatty. He is behind Stephen Rochefort. And he's got the 37 of Kyle Streeter closing in on him. And looks like Steven Rochefort just gets loose in front of the 45. We see he kind of checks up a little bit, but the 37 does not. And he slams the back bumper of the 45, sending him around. So that is not what Casey Beatty wanted as he tries to get 2 wins in a row. Well, under caution, let's quickly talk about the track that we are racing at tonight. Five Flags Speedway, a half-mile paved oval, opened in 1954. Five Flags Speedway takes its name from its proximity to Pensacola, Florida, known as the City of Five Flags, in reference to the 5 governments that have ruled the city. Five Flags is one of the fastest short tracks in America thanks to its steep banking and wide turns that give the track a nearly circular configuration. Although the track was a stop on NASCAR's senior circuit in its early days since 1968, Five Flags has been known as the site of the annual Snowball Derby. Held each December, the Snowball Derby is considered the year's premier super late model event, and that was just recently. I believe Ty Majeski got the race win there for the Snowball Derby, and always a marquee super late model event, must-watch event for grassroots short track racing. And it's been definitely cool to see all the great names that have run and had success in the Snowball Derby, and the drivers who you may not have recognized in the Snowball Derby that have gone on to do great things. So many NASCAR drivers, before they ever made it big in the Cup Series or the Xfinity Series, they were Snowball Derby winners. So we're getting ready to go back green. Jake Grout, or Logan Powers restarting on the bottom. Jake Grout restarting on the top behind them. That is Caden Fisher and Matt Smith. Pace car is in. Green flag is back in the air. And looks like Jake Grout will have the nose over, and he's able to get clear over Logan Powers as we head through 1 and 2. The top 3 able to get single file as we take it off of turns 1 and 2. Logan Powers trying to track down the 49 for this race lead. Trying to resume this battle that they were having, because he was slowly but surely reeling him in. As we saw the caution flag come out. So far in this race, no drivers have come in to take tires yet. Maybe conserving those for later in the race. I don't believe fuel will be a factor. So Logan Powers keeping it close behind the 49. Again, looking to see what Grout is doing, where he's given up some time. And, I mean, he is right there. He's going to maybe try to give him the bumper here through 1 and 2. You want to try to give it on entry, but he's able to get underneath him on the backstretch. He'll send it down into 3 and 4. He's to his left rear. He is to the door of the 49. But we see Jake Grout able to get back clear and continue to hang on to that lead for the time being. Caden Fisher running in that 3rd place spot. And we are officially 25 laps through this race. We've had some great clean racing so far. Only 1 caution. Hopefully we can continue to keep up this awesome racing that we're seeing right now. Oh, a little bit loose there off of turn number 4 for Jake Grout. And we see Logan Powers catches him fast, but he gets up the track, and now Caden Fisher is underneath him. We've got a side-by-side battle for 2nd through 3 and 4. Powers with a little bit of a nose over Fisher as they take it off of 4. A little bit loose off the corner. Powers trying his best to get down, but Fisher keeping it on that bottom. And he's trying to get down, not quite yet. We see Caden Fisher keeping it below him. And there we go, Logan Powers able to get clear. He's looking to the outside now of Jake Grout. He is to his right rear. Continuing to stay up there. They remain door to door now. And we see, oh, there goes Caden Fisher driving it underneath. Oh, they use each other up, those two on the high side. And now we are 3 wide for the race lead. We see Grout with the nose in the middle, trying to get clear of both of them. This is crazy. And we are still 3 wide. We see Powers falls in line behind Jake Grout. So now the battle is on for that first place spot between Fisher and Grout. Grout having the nose on that outside lane. And oh, we have a caution flag that interrupts this great battle for the race lead there. So let's see what happens. So there's the 45 of Casey Beatty, who's trying to work his way back up through the field. He's coming up on Mark Baldwin, and he gets into his back bumper off of 4. He does not hit him square. So that gets that 91 car very upset. And looks like he was able to pretty much save it. So now the 45 is on his outside. And looks like... Oh! Looks like we have some net code there. Watch the right rear. See? They never make contact with each other. So it looks like we have some net code between Casey Beatty and Mark Baldwin, and that's unfortunate for those of you who don't know the iRacing lingo, don't know what net code is. Net code is when iRacing registers you as hitting, they predict that you're going to hit a driver, but they predict incorrectly, and the game registers it as a hit, even though you didn't hit them. And so that's unfortunate there for Mark Baldwin. Looks like we have some drivers coming into the pits. Looks like Aaron Raymond, Chad White, and Brian Rogers all come in, and looks like they take some tires. So we'll see if these new shoes will help them get back up through the field. Green flag is back out. There's Jake Grout leading the field to the green. We see Logan Powers following right behind him in that second place spot. Caden Fisher, Jason Pelkey side by side for third. We see Fisher with the nose off the corner, trying to clear him through 3 and 4, and he is able to do so. So now Logan Powers trying to reel in Jake Grout for this first place position. These two have been battling it out all race long. And looks like that's not showing any signs of stopping as he continues to try to set up a pass on that 49. Logan Powers hungry for his first win of the season. And Five Flags would definitely be a great track to get it done at. But we'll see this battle continue as we have another caution flag come out here. We'll see what happened here. So we're looking at Scott Rochefort here. He is side by side with the 71 of Peter Fisher. It looks like Peter Fisher just comes down into him on the front stretch. That gets the 77 down the track. He hits the inside wall. And he comes back up onto the track. And he pushes up the track and gets into the 37 of Kyle Streeter, sending him around. Casey Beatty involved there as well. Looks like Joel Hodgson getting some tires on his number 36 machine. Let's quickly talk about the cars that we are racing in tonight. When it comes to grassroots racing, it doesn't get any more rooted than street stocks, although there are nearly as many very different variations on street stock rules as there are quarter and half mile racetracks around America. The common thread is the use of an older American street car as the basis of the street stock race car. These bad boys have a small block Chevrolet engine and 375 horsepower. So Jake Grout restarting on the bottom here. Logan Powers restarting on the top. Watch out for Aaron Raymond. He does have fresh tires on that 88 machine. Green flag is back in the air. Jake Grout leads the field to the start-finish line. We see Caden Fisher underneath Logan Powers for this second place spot. Powers holding his own on that outside lane, making it work up there a little bit loose off of 2 for Caden Fisher. That costs him some momentum. And we see Powers trying to find a way to get down, get clear over that 18, and he is able to do so. So now Powers tucks in line in this second place spot. He sets his sights on Jake Grout for this first place position. And it looks like Powers looking high, looking low, trying to find exactly what Grout is doing. He's had plenty of time to study this 49 machine. These two have been duking it out all race long. And I'm sure Powers is just itching to finally get by him. Looks like Grout trying to extend that gap a little bit, but a nice run off of turn number 4 for Powers puts him right on his back bumper through 1 and 2. And right there as well is Caden Fisher. Jason Pelkey is there. Matt Smith is there. You could throw a blanket over your top 5, although we saw Jason Pelkey get into the wall a little bit there. So Logan Powers right now just fighting tooth and nail. And oh, we got a caution flag out. 4th caution of the race. This ties the amount of cautions that we had last week at New Hampshire. For the first 25 laps or so, it was a fairly clean race, but now we're seeing the phrase, the age-old phrase, cautions breed cautions, really come into play right now. So we see Eric Steele on the outside. He's got Justin Prescott underneath him through 1 and 2. Looks like Prescott just blinked underneath him, and looks like there was some net code. It's like they registered as him getting doored. And Casey Beatty is involved. His nightmare night continues. Eric Steele involved. Ooh. So we got a lot of drivers on pit road right now getting tires. But we see most of the field stays out in your top 5 as Jake Grout, Logan Powers, Caden Fisher, Matt Smith, Steven, and yep. And Stephen Rochefort. But we see now Aaron Raymond on the fresh tires. Looks like Chad White is. Kyle Streeter is. I believe Peter Fisher is. I believe Casey Beatty is. So now Jake Grout is going to have a threat from a lot of drivers on fresh tires now. Although we still are not to the halfway point yet. Make sure to visit our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com. We do custom printing, racing merchandise, and more. Make sure to check out our driver collections like the At Louise Racing Collection, the Carson Hayslip Racing Collection, the Raven Kimball Racing Collection, and the Phoenix Kimball Collection. I race in real life, so you can support all of my real life racing merch by buying some, or my real life racing endeavors by buying some At Louise Racing stuff. Support our streams by getting some Intensity Broadcasting merchandise. We've got some cool league collections, some team collections, some auto racing novelty items. It's a cool store, so make sure to go check it out. IntensityBroadcasting.com. Pace car is in. Green flag is back in the air. Jake Grout leads the field to the green. He is up through the gears, heading through 1 and 2. Behind them, Fisher and Powers are side by side. Caden Fisher with the nose over Logan Powers as we take it off of turn number 2. A little wiggle there off of turn number 2 for Caden Fisher. That cost him some momentum, and now they're practically equal off of turn number 4. Maybe Powers with a little bit of a nose on that outside lane, but no. They are giving, neither driver giving one another an inch during this battle for second here. They remain practically equal off of turn number 4. And this is really helping Jake Grout extend his lead. We see Fisher trying his best to use the preferred groove to get the nose over Logan Powers, but the outside seems to be working pretty well for Logan up there to just keep it side by side with that number 18. And they're also side by side behind them as well. And one advantage of running there up on that outside, like we see Logan Powers doing, is the fact that you can have a little bit more of an arc into the corner because you're not being pinched down to the bottom. Now, of course, you can't apex as much as you can if you're on the bottom and you're not running the preferred groove, but still, the fact that you can have that arc allows you to get off the corner decently still and keep up with the guy underneath you. And like I said before, iRacing also made some updates to the multi-groove racing of ovals. And so now the outside, if you're stuck on the outside on an oval, it feels a lot better and you have a little bit more grip up there because that outside can evolve a little bit up there after the new update. So shout out to iRacing for helping make short track racing a little bit better by updating the outside groove and the multi-grooves here on these short tracks. And we're seeing Logan Powers take advantage of that for sure by continuing to battle with Caden Fisher for this second place spot. We have just gotten past the halfway point here. And this battle for second is not ceasing at all. This is crazy. I mean, these two have been side by side for a significant number of laps now. This is very impressive. We see Stephen Rochefort reeling in these two. He's going to try to get behind Caden Fisher and follow behind him with the fact that the 99 is up the racetrack. They door each other a little bit off of turn number 2. This is crazy. Neither driver giving the other an inch. Logan Powers really making that outside work. And, you know, normally we've seen previously here in this Street Stock Series... Oh, we got a caution flag out. So 5th caution of the race here at Five Flags. And that'll end that awesome battle that we saw there between Caden Fisher and Logan Powers. See exactly what happened here with Brian Rogers. Looks like coming off of 4, Eric Steele. Looks like the 12 was already loose off the corner, and then Steele got into the back of him and added kind of insult to injury by sending the 12 sideways there. And he gets loose and he turns right in front of the field. Barely misses hitting that 36. So we got pit stops going on now. Looks like Jake Grout takes some tires. Ty Delphia does. Steven Rochefort does. Justin Prescott does. We see Logan Powers, Caden Fisher. So I believe we're seeing two different strategies here. We're seeing drivers, and we're letting the field get all... There we go. So we're seeing two different strategies. So we saw Aaron Raymond. It looks like he just took right sides probably. Kyle Streeter took 4. Peter Fisher took 4. Chad White took 4. Then we see Grout, Delphia, Rochefort, Prescott. I believe they all took right sides. I believe Powers got 4. So Aaron Raymond will be leading the field to this next restart with Kyle Streeter on his outside. These pit stops really have shaken things out a little bit. We're seeing different tire strategies here. Aaron Raymond looking for his first win of the season. He's done really well. He's got an average finish of 4th. He's coming off a top 10 last week at New Hampshire, so I would not be surprised if he gets the win and takes advantage of this pit strategy. Because your previous leader, Jake Grout, he's restarting in 10th. He's going to have his work cut out for him, working his way up through the field. Although he does have about 19 lap fresher tires than Aaron Raymond. So we'll see. Pace car is in. Green flag is back in the air, and Aaron Raymond leads the field to the green. Side by side for second. We see Streeter with the nose on the outside lane. Peter Fisher trying to get the nose there on the bottom off of turn number 2. Yes, he is able to. Peter Fisher, nice run on the bottom. He gets clear, and he gets up to that second place spot now, setting his sights on your leader, Aaron Raymond. And as I say that, we have a caution flag out. So the 6th caution flag of the night is in the air. See what happened. So we're watching Mark Baldwin. He's got the 12 of Brian Rogers underneath him. He's got Jake Grout and Ty Delphia behind him. Looks like both a little bit loose there through the corner. Looks like that's not the yellow flag. I'm not sure exactly what the caution was there. But Aaron Raymond, during that short little green flag run, he was able to hang on to the lead. Don't look now. Let's see here. Hang on. The field getting shaken out. Lights on the pace car off. We're getting ready to go back green here. But don't look now. With fresher tires, Jake Grout has made his way up to 10th place now. Or actually, he really hasn't moved since the yellow flag pit stop, so we'll see if that changes here. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out, and Aaron Raymond up to the gears, leading the field into green. He's able to get clear over Kyle Streeter, who tucks in line in second. Jason Pelkey, nice run on the outside lane, trying to find a way to get down in front of Peter Fisher. He's got the... can he get clear? Yes. He is able to clear him through 3 and 4. He tucks in line. So Jason Pelkey up to that 3rd place spot. Peter Fisher falls to 3rd. Now Jason Pelkey trying to reel in Kyle Streeter for this 2nd place spot right now. And he's got Peter Fisher right there as well. The field extremely close together right now. Some great racing we're seeing. And we see a nice run for Pelkey. He had closed in on him off of turn number 4, but we see Streeter extends that gap. Looks like Pelkey has really good exit speed. He just, we see Streeter able to get a little bit ahead on entry. And we got a caution flag out. So caution flag is in the air. See what happened. We're watching Ty Delphia on the outside. He's got the 91. In front of him. Of Mark Baldwin. And oh. Looks like the 66 of Stephen Rochefort heading into the corner. Just gets into the back bumper of the 13. Doesn't hit him square. That sends him sideways. We see the 36 is involved. 18. Caden Fisher involved. Matt Smith. Stephen Rochefort, or excuse me, Scott Rochefort. So lights are off on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back green. Aaron Raymond restarting on the bottom. We've got Kyle Streeter on the top. Then it goes Jason Pelkey, Peter Fisher, and Joshua Baldwin rounds out your top 5. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out. Here we go. Side by side for second. Kyle Streeter, Jason Pelkey door to door through 1 and 2. We see Pelkey with the nose on that bottom lane, but they're practically equal on the backstretch. Now starting to extend that gap a little bit on the bottom. Actually, no, on the top. Kyle Streeter, a ton of momentum off of turn number 4. But they're practically equal. Neither driver giving one another an inch. Pushing up a little bit through 1 and 2. We see now Peter Fisher able to get underneath Kyle Streeter for this 3rd place spot. And yes, he is able to get by him. So now Peter Fisher is up to 3rd. He's going to try to get by Jason Pelkey for the 2nd place spot. And all while this is happening, Kyle Streeter looking underneath the 71, trying to get back by him here. Peter Fisher, looking high, looking low. We got a caution flag out. Looks like we got a street stock going off track. So we see Stephen Rochefort is 3 wide, Mark Baldwin in the middle, Matt Smith on the top. And this actually happens in front of them. Joel Hodgden. Looks like he comes down on Ty Delphia. That gets that 13 sideways. And we see a little bit of agricultural racing for both him and Stephen Rochefort. He goes back up the track. The lights are off on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back green. Aaron Raymond restarting on the bottom. Jason Pelkey restarting on the top. Behind them, that's Peter Fisher, Kyle Streeter, and then Joshua Baldwin. Green flag is back in the air. Here's Aaron Raymond leading the field to the green. Jason Pelkey on his outside. We see Raymond able to get clear now side by side for second. Fisher, Pelkey door to door on the backstretch. We see Pelkey with a little bit of a nose on that outside lane, but Peter Fisher fighting back on the bottom. Oh, we got some contact on the backstretch, or on the front stretch. No caution flag comes out. We remain green flag racing. And they are practically equal on the backstretch here. Really tight racing here for second. Jason Pelkey really making it work there on that outside lane. We see Fisher maybe with a little bit of a nose there off of turn number 2. And don't look now, but here comes Jake Grout. He's got fresher tires than these two. Peter Fisher now with a significant nose over Jason Pelkey. He's got the momentum on that bottom lane, and it looks like Jake Grout is going to try to follow behind that 71. Jake Grout definitely the faster car on track right now compared to these two. But he's being patient, trying to find the right opportunity to pounce. 25 laps to go in this race. If anybody was saving, now is the time to hit the loud pedal and work your way up through the field. Now, here comes... Oh, caution flag is out. So here's Matt Smith behind the 12 of Brian Rogers. We see Rogers gets a little bit loose. I thought Smith was going to get into his back bumper here, but it looks like Rogers... Ooh, that's really close. Ooh. Looks like it's just 3 wide into the corner. Does not go as planned. Kind of a traffic jam there. And we see the 99, Logan Powers involved. Looks like Chad White is involved. Stephen Rochefort, Ty Delphia, Matt Smith, Mark Baldwin. So right now, I mean, watch out for Jake Grout. I mean, he's got the momentum right now. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out. There's Aaron Raymond taking off. He's got able to get clear over Jason Pelkey as they head into 1 and 2. So here's Peter Fisher driving down underneath the 64. Pelkey with the nose on that outside lane, trying to get clear over the 71, but we see Fisher staying on his left rear quarter panel. He's to his door. Oh, they make contact. We see Fisher's around into the inside wall. Caution is out. That is the 10th caution of the race. Peter Fisher, not what he wanted to see. He was having a great race running up in the top 3. And here we see off of turn number 4. Just comes up into the 64. That contact gets the 71 upset. And he goes down into the inside wall. Looks like he's out of the groove, which means that nobody else really gets any other damage. Looks like Joshua Baldwin now coming in and getting 4 tires, it looks like. So that should look good for a little late race strategy to work his way up through the field. So here we go. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out. Aaron Raymond leads the field to the green. Jake Grout right on his back bumper following behind him. Jake Grout. He's got fresher tires. He's trying to get by this 88, looking to see where he can get underneath him. If not, we might see that chrome horn come out for the 49. He looks low, heading into 1 and 2. There he is, diving down into the corner. They are side by side through 1 and 2. Neither driver giving one another an inch. But we see Jake Grout with the nose on the bottom. He's got a nice run off of turn number 4. We see Aaron Raymond holding his own on that outside lane. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to stay outside of Grout. I mean, he is almost clear now. But Aaron Raymond keeping it up there. He fights back a little bit. 19 laps to go. But Jake Grout finally able to get by him. Oh, crossover move. Aaron Raymond dives down into 3 and 4, trying to get to that left rear, that 49. But he is not able to. Jake Grout has sole possession of this lead here. There they are going around lap traffic. Joshua Baldwin there. But Aaron Raymond keeping it right on the back bumper of Jake Grout. He is right there, not letting him get too far ahead. He's got a nice run off of turn number 4. We might see Aaron Raymond try to get underneath him here on exit. Also, like I said, watch out for him to break out the chrome horn. Try to move Jake Grout out of his way, because if you get to that back bumper, it gets that car tight. Causes you to push up, and that'll expose the bottom to allow you to get underneath the driver in front of you. We'll see what Aaron Raymond chooses to do. He wants this win bad. He has been winless this season. He's come so close so many times. But I think he really wants tonight to be the night. But Jake Grout definitely doesn't want that to be the case. He wants his 3rd win of the season. We see Jake Grout starting to extend that gap over Aaron Raymond with 14 laps to go. Elsewhere in the field, here's Justin Prescott, Casey Beatty battling it out for 4th right now. 2 names we haven't really talked about much today. I know Casey Beatty has had a rough day. He's been involved in a few incidents. But he's able to get clear over Prescott on the outside. So now Casey Beatty up into 4th, trying to track down Jason Pelkey to finish the night off with a top 3. Justin Prescott staying close behind Beatty, though, not letting him get too far ahead. But we see slowly but surely Beatty is extending that gap. We look back to the battle for the lead. Aaron Raymond still keeping it close behind Jake Grout. Last time by, Raymond was actually 0.2 faster than that 49. But we'll see what happens here. He'll have 10 laps to try to reel him back in and make a pass. We continue to watch this battle. Justin Prescott keeping it close behind Casey Beatty for 4th. We see Beatty also starting to reel in Jason Pelkey for 3rd. So this could be a 3-horse race for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Looks like Pelkey really exposing the bottom on exit. That may be where Beatty, if he can get close to him, that's where he's going to want to try to get underneath him. This is tough here. Close between Pelkey, Beatty, and Prescott. We see Beatty getting really close to the back bumper of that 64 now. He's looking to try to get underneath them. Pelkey trying to run a defensive line, try to prevent that 45. Beatty able to get underneath them, heading into 1 and 2. They door each other. The 64 is up the track, and Beatty is able to get clear. Now we are side by side for 4th. Justin Prescott with the nose over Jason Pelkey. Now he's stuck on that outside, trying to find a way to get down. And Justin Prescott is clear over Casey Beatty now, up to 4th. So Jason, 5 laps to go. for Jake Grout, or for Aaron Raymond to try to close in 6/10 to Jake Grout, but I don't know. I think Jake Grout, he's got a decent gap. Aaron Raymond right now hoping for a caution, or hoping for Jake Grout to make a major mistake, but it looks like Aaron Raymond is the one that's making some mistakes. Saw he's a little bit sideways off of turn number 4. Justin Prescott trying to finish this tonight off with the podium. He's looking to try to get by Casey Beatty here. Very close to the back bumper of that 45. These two have been duking it out for a little bit. Sideways off of turn number 4. We see Prescott trying to find a way to get into the back bumper of that 45. Two to go for Justin Prescott to try to park it on the podium. Looks like they're going to have to deal with some lap traffic. Final lap is in the air for Jake Grout. Oh no, Jake Grout is around. He's in the wall. Aaron Raymond is to the race lead now. We're coming to the checkered flag. Aaron Raymond leads. He will win his first win of the season. Casey Beatty. Justin Prescott finishes third. Hold on. I apologize for that. I missed that. I was watching the battle for third. Jake Grout was coming up on lap traffic. Scott Rochefort. And looks like he got into his back bumper, and that got that 49 very out of sorts. Then the 77 got into him again. We see Grout trying to save it. Remember, he's leading, and then he gets sideways. We see Aaron Raymond able to get through that all, able to get underneath the 77 and secure his first win of the season. Wow. That was a wild turn of events there. All right. Let's go ahead with our driver interviews now. Starting off, we're going to pull in your third place finisher, Justin Prescott. Justin, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Awesome. Well, great run tonight here at Five Flags, parking it on the podium. I know we really didn't say your name too much until later in the race when you had worked your way up until the top 5, and we saw late in the race, you were running in that 4th place spot. We saw Beatty able to get by you, and luckily you were able to get underneath Pelkey to get back into 4th, and you were fighting for Beatty really close behind him for that battle for 3rd, and then we saw that craziness up front. We saw Grout get into the outside wall, and Raymond got the lead, and you weren't able to get by Beatty, but you were still, because of the events up front, parked it on the podium. So just walk us through your race. I mean, how did you manage to get here tonight?
Yeah, I still don't know what happened there. That looked pretty wild there. But I was just trying to take what was given to me. I was not fast side by side. Like, I had some good speed if I was able to run my own line, but if I had somebody pinching me off, man, I was at the mercy of them. And so it made it hard to get by guys. I just had to take what I could get. And, I don't know, got lucky with some late restarts and some lines there, and found myself back up into the top bunch. And sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. So here we are.
Now, I know you did have that one set of tires at your disposal. What was your tire strategy tonight?
Yeah, I pitted with the majority there. I ended up only taking 2 because I overshot my pit, so I had to back up. So I didn't want to lose a bunch of time. But I actually, I don't think it was that much of a disadvantage not grabbing the full 4, but seemed pretty good. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, I think it, because of so many different strategies going on, it mixed up the field there. So I was able to actually get away from the guys that had fresher sneakers than me. So it played out. Like I said, rather be lucky than good.
And before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout outs for your podium?
Yeah, I got to thank you guys for putting this on. Logan as well for all he does, and then Streeter Concrete, for the title sponsor of the series. All my real life sponsors, gosscars.com, A&H Fence, and Gothiers Trucking. Can't do it without them and the fans watching. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the podium tonight, Justin. Have a great rest of your night.
You as well.
Thank you. All right, let's now pull in your second place finisher. Let's pull in Casey Bietti. Casey, this is out in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, great run tonight. I know you had, again, because you won last week, you had to start in the back for the heat race. So you were able to, you had a good heat race, and you ended up starting this race in 11th. And throughout this race, I know I saw you got in a few little incidents tangled up in some of them, but you were able to, you had a good pit strategy there. You came in, took some tires, and you were able to quickly get up to the field during that last run, one of the biggest movers of the race, gaining 9 spots since the green flag drop. But, we saw you running behind Justin there during those last few laps. You were able to get underneath him, get by him. You also were able to get by Jason Pelkey, and you were looking to have a third place finish. And then we saw kind of what happened up front with Grout getting involved in that incident, and that ended up putting you in the runner-up position. Just couldn't, of course, you couldn't really get up there to Aaron Raymond. You didn't have enough time. But, second place, definitely a good run. What do you think maybe you could have done differently to change the result of this race?
Yeah, definitely keep my nose more clean coming up to the field. It was just unfortunate to get in a lot of other people's messes. And, all the guys didn't really give up and kept going and fixed all the damage as much as we could get, and came back out and was on the right pit strategy. A couple of those guys decided to pit early, and I didn't think that was the play with how much tire usage there is at Five Flags Speedway, and it worked out for us. And was lucky enough to get to where I was at the end, following Grout and Justin up through the field. But unfortunate for Grout, it's just one of those situations where lap car checked up a little more than he thought and got into him and just caused a big one. So definitely wasn't thinking I was getting the runner-up spot, but very fortunate that I was able to miss that final wreck.
Now, like you said tire usage very hard here at Five Flags. What's the key to saving these tires here?
Definitely just babying them early, just being real smooth on the gas and real smooth on the steering wheel, and not really burning up your right front, trying to keep your right rear. This place just eats up right rears, so definitely tried saving that as we were driving up to the field, and didn't save as much as I quite wanted to.
Now, before I let you go, Casey, is there any sponsors or shout-outs for your runner-up?
I'd like to thank Jake Grout for designing this beauty and getting it wicked awesome on iRacing. RKM Setup Shop, all them boys just make me better every time I get on the sim. So, and then you guys for coming out and broadcasting, and Logan for putting this league on.
Well, again, congrats on the runner-up tonight, Casey. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. And all right, we're now going to talk to your race winner from Highgate, Vermont, the number 88. Let's go ahead and talk to Aaron Raymond. Aaron, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Well, great run tonight. Able to grab your first win of the season after coming so close in these first 4 races. I know, started off kind of, you weren't running up front there, and after the pit strategy, you came in early on lap 30 and got some tires, and that able to give you some good track position when we saw the leaders come in, and you're up to the lead, and you were able to hang on to it a little bit, but Jake Grout, he worked his way up to the field, got by you for that race lead, and you were running in second. You were kind of fading a little bit and kind of settling in that second place spot, but then we saw that incident with the lap car up front with Jake Grout, and the Red Seas kind of flooded there. You're able to get through and grab your first win of the season. So, how does it feel to get it done? And, how does it feel to get it done with such crazy circumstances?
No, it's nice to win the race, and I just hate it for Jake. That's not the way I want to win races, but when it comes down to it, that's how things play out.
Now, what do you think was maybe different tonight than some of the previous races that, helped get you up front and helped get you that track position?
My luck, definitely. I didn't get wrecked tonight. I almost took out Prescott there, but luckily he saved it, and we both kept it going. And yeah, just things fell my way.
Yeah, before we let you go, Aaron, is there any sponsors or shout-outs for your win?
Yeah, I gotta thank everyone who puts on this league. I gotta thank you for broadcasting, and I gotta thank my family.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats tonight on the win, Aaron. Hopefully, maybe you'll see a couple of more here throughout the rest of the season. So have a great rest of your night.
Yep, you too.
Thank you. All right. Well, that will do it for tonight's event. One more time, congratulations to Aaron Raymond on grabbing his first win of the season. I want to give a big thank you to league owner Logan Powers for all that he does for this league. Definitely keeps this league running very smoothly for sure. I want to give a big thank you to series sponsor Streeter Concrete for all that they do for this series. They are located out of Waitsfield, Vermont. And if you're in that area, definitely the people to contact for any concrete work. For more information, if you want to schedule an appointment with them, make sure to dial their phone number 802-793-6793. Again, 802-793-6793 is the number to contact. Streeter Concrete. Want to give a big thank you to you, the viewer, for tuning in to watch tonight's event. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. And Kick as well, if you're watching on there. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 1,000 followers on Twitch. Check out our Twitter page, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there, trying to get 100 followers on there. Check out our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com. There we have some, and that is a great website to visit. We've got all of our merchandise on there. We do custom printing, great racing merchandise, and more. So definitely check out intensitybroadcasting.com. I'm Matt Liatman Least on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Over and out.